And so everyone, returning to my anime review is actually one where I have a lot of nostalgia for and one where I wanted to give a lot of thought on Yu-Gi-Oh! I think this is technically my first anime I ever watched because my brother got a video for the first three episodes a long time ago when I was maybe 4 or 5 years old, and I checked it out a few times. Not to mention the fact that I sometimes watch the Yu-Gi-Oh! Spin-off shows like Yu-Gi-Oh! GX and so on. As well as this, I would sometimes watch this show on TV a few times as well. And there were some other things about it I watched a lot too, like the movie or when I watched my brother playing any of the games. And so years later, it was pretty nostalgic for me to revisit it and watch the whole thing. I got the whole series on DVD about 3 years ago when I was able to watch the whole thing. And I do like it now. And yeah, obviously the fact that it's a Shonen Jump property is a big help, but the story itself as well is really fascinating with taking the idea of a kid playing hard games and doing something really great and unique with it. So the story is about a boy named Yuji Moto who's big into playing games and is also the one who completed the Millennium Puzzle, which freed the spirit of an ancient Egyptian pharaoh who Yuji is actually the reincarnation of. And together with his friends Joey, Taya, and Christian, Yuji begin to journey to discover what the pharaoh is and what the situation surrounding him in regard to not remembering his past is, all the while having a card game called Duel Monsters that a lot of people in the world play for big issues. And so something that I think is cool about this show is that it may be a shonen series, but it's not the kind that you'd expect from one. And by that I'm talking about the fact that it's not the same kind of action-focused story like a lot of other shonen properties are. But I do also appreciate the approach to the way this show started, considering the anime is a lot different from the manga, because this was done by 4Kids and a lot of the stuff was edited to make it more kid-friendly. But even with that, we do get a lot from it, and I really enjoyed it. And as I said, there's obviously the original manga series by Kazuki Takahashi, and it did have a lot more violent scenes in it than the anime. Actually, there was another series of Yu-Gi-Oh! Before this that a lot of people call Season 0 that adapted the first 7 volumes of the manga that were more violent than what came later. But this is the one that keeps it going from that point onward, and it's easily the more popular version. And there's a lot of amazing aspects to this, because like a lot of other shonen properties or just in the other anime in general, the best part of the series is the characters. All of them are well written, well designed, and super memorable. Personally, my favorite character is him, as in the Pharaoh himself, because he's just really cool, and there's a lot of things about him that's super likable. And all of it, but even, all the characters are either really fun or really interesting. And I like how this is a series that gets you interested from the get-go. Unlike some other anime shows where it feels like it takes like a few episodes to really get into it, this one hooks you in from the start. And it's so well set up from the start that you don't care about the absence of the first 7 volumes them because they don't really rely on them afterwards. So you can't just watch it where the series starts off and so it's easy for you to forget about them. And I feel like the series is presented in a somewhat different way from other Shonen Jump series because given how it's not as action focused, I think it helps it to be more presented differently from others. I mean, it clearly has story arcs and all that, but the setup for it isn't exactly the same as others. And in terms of the fascination in the series, that definitely comes for me whenever we're exploring the past. A lot of talks that the characters have about it is really interesting, and it's even shown early on, like when we see, like in Yuji's past with Pegasus. Really, this series wastes no time with getting into its central story, and it keeps going from there. And in terms of the stories themselves, the best in my opinion is Battle City, and where it really gets to its best in my opinion. The story is at its highest there. But I do like a lot of the other ones, like the story with the Jewish kingdom against Pegasus is right too. And I love the way each duo is set up and the presentation of more characters. It's really ingenious in my opinion, and I like how the story goes. It also did a great job with having interesting character development throughout the series too. Like how Kaiba is slightly lightened up on Yuji a bit from the fact that at the beginning he was a big jerk, and he's still a jerk as the series goes on, but he's slightly less of one from the beginning. And I like I like the story arc with Joey beginning as someone who did terrible do it, but then he gets a lot better as he keeps going. But Battle City is where the series is at its pinnacle, in my opinion. For one, the setup with Ishiru coming in and telling Kaiba about the past is a good setup, and it's even cooler when we see the introduction of Merit. And there's a lot of memorable duos that come from this, like Yuji's duo just against Joey after he's being mind controlled by Merit, or Yuji versus Kaiba with their rematch, and easily the best one is, well, in terms of Battle City, the best one is Yuji's final fight against Merit, and everything the series was building up to at that point was great, and the duo concluded all of it in a really satisfying way. And it's pretty smart the way Takahashi places these characters in these situations. Not to mention the fact that Takahashi is also an incredible artist, and I love his artwork for the manga, and he does a really great job with the storytelling as well. However, after the whole Battle City story, we get a whole bunch of filler arcs, up to like 54 episodes of them. And yeah, like any other anime series, I really hate a lot of the filler arcs. Although, I'm not gonna lie, I actually do remember liking some of them when I was younger, like the whole, Seal of Orichalcos one, or the Capsule Monsters one, which I didn't watch when I was watching the series 3 years ago, but I do remember watching them when I was younger and thinking that they were pretty interesting. And as for how I would feel about them now, I'm not entirely sure, because I think I would just skip over them if I was watching the series again, and I would probably see them as pretty bad, especially the Rebecca art, which is pretty bad in my opinion. But the other arcs as well just aren't that good in my opinion, because they are filler, so in my opinion, both are really never good in my opinion. So I might, I don't know. I think I might watch them again for a bit of nostalgia if I was ever rewatching the series again, but I don't think they'd be all that good in my opinion. But then the series is right back on track again when we get to the final arc of the series. The Pharaoh's Memories arc is a big highlight of the series too, like when we explore more of Ahem's past and we see what his life was like before and seeing the rise of Zork and seeing his design is really awesome, and there's a lot of great details in the story. It went on for a bit longer than I thought it was than I was expecting, but it certainly helped with making the story feel much more satisfying and interesting. The only part of it I didn't like all that much was the story with Seto and Kisara. It wasn't bad, I just didn't find it all that interesting, and I just didn't like a lot of those scenes. I guess that it does help us understand more about Kaiba's interact with the Blue-Eyed White Dragon and all that, but I just didn't find those parts very interesting, and I just feel like some of that stuff went on for a bit too long. But then in terms of visuals themselves, I think the series' all-time best duo is with Yuji versus Ahem. I think the idea of Yuji taking on Ahem is already a great idea, and Takahashi does a really great job with it. Not just with the great idea and the great moves that he has both of the characters made, but also in terms of surprising us and having both of them use their heads really well. And so yeah, just the fact that two of the best partners I've ever seen in an anime are going head to head like this in a fight like this is really cool. And it has a lot of great ideas, and the idea itself is really great, and it has a really great execution, and it totally works all the build up. And then the ending where Ahem is freed and finally get to be at peace with the rest of these people is really nice to see. It's sad, but it's really nice to see and satisfying as well, especially for me in my opinion, because as I said, Ahem himself is my favorite character during all of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I like how the rest of the characters show up in the other. I like how sometimes in the other Yu-Gi-Oh! Series we see a lot of the other characters come up, like how we see Yuji and Rampa and Pegasus and Kaiba show up in Yu-Gi-Oh! GX and so on. And I'm currently really, and yeah, overall I just really like the way the series kind of meshes with the other Yu-Gi-Oh! Series as well, like when we see the different crossovers with these characters, and it's really cool when we see a lot of that happen. And so, yeah, really, I just really like how this series was the start of a whole bunch of other franchises, was the start of a big franchise, because after this, we got other Yu-Gi-Oh! Series, like I just mentioned, Yu-Gi-Oh! GX and Fight Gs and Arc V, and just a whole bunch of other shows. And currently I've only watched this series and Yu-Gi-Oh! GX and Yu-Gi-Oh! Fight Gs, and I really like all of them. They're different levels, and they're really good in my opinion. And like I just said, I like seeing the different crossovers in the shows as well. And so, yeah, it's really cool to see all of them. But in terms of just this series on its own, I think it's really great, and I love how it is just another great Shonen Jump property. And so, yeah, in my opinion, this is definitely a series worth watching, in my opinion. So, yeah, everyone, so that's my review for Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all liked this video. If you did, then please like this video. Please comment down below to tell me what you think. Please follow me on Twitter at Daniel Maloney, Hey and Disney, fan writer, Kingdom Hearts and Disney Quiz every day. And please subscribe for more content like this coming soon, and I'll see you all next time. Take care.